everyone, this is Mr. West, and recently I was given the opportunity to check out the Nokia 7.1 for a few days, and having really enjoyed using it, I thought it was well worth a mini review to tell you guys what it's like and whether it's worth your consideration. The Nokia 7.1 is a mid-range device offering decent performance, great imaging capabilities and classy looks, all for under £400. Beginning with its design, and the Nokia 7.1 looks stunning. With its polished glass back and chamfered metal edges, this looks like a handset costing double the price. It's really sturdy in the hand, and the aluminium edges add a coolness to the touch in the hand. The phone's really pocketable as well, with a compact and well-rounded design which feels absolutely ideal for one-handed use. One small issue I found with the phone's design was that it has a mind of its own when placed on certain surfaces. Be prepared to babysit the phone constantly if this is rested on a sofa arm, as it will slide off voluntarily at every opportunity, so you may want to think about a case to ensure the phone's good looks are kept at their best. So moving on to the display, and the 5.84 inch IPS HDR10 compliant LCD panel is one of the best LCD panels I've come across in recent months. It's covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 3 and is bright, colourful and sharp, and regardless of what content you view in, the Nokia 7.1 serves up a really eye-catching display which looks excellent. Viewing your favourite websites, general browsing or watching HDR enabled content all looks great, and it's easy to find the right brightness to suit your needs. The notch up top is unobtrusive, but I felt it was a notch for the sake of it rather than adding anything useful. Nokia could have easily squeezed the camera sensor into a small top bezel which wouldn't have taken anything away from the phone's looks, but as it stands it's there, and after a short period I became accustomed to it. Do bear in mind the notch can't currently be hidden due to the Android One software, but it is something which Nokia says it will be adding with a software revision at a later date. So talking of software, and this is one area where the Nokia 7.1 really stands out. The super smooth and bloat-free Android One software really feels like it was made for this phone, and the Nokia 7.1 glides easily through everyday tasks, whether browsing social media, websites or your favourite photos or videos. The software feels beautifully tuned to the modest hardware. Although it's a shame this is only running Android Oreo, Android Pie can't be far behind, and what we do have feels just so great to use day to day, and it's so refreshing to use a phone at this price level which has software which hasn't been handicapped with an obtrusive manufacturer's skin or unnecessary added applications. As for performance, the Nokia 7.1 is a Snapdragon 636 processor and is available with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of built-in storage like this model here, or a slightly more expensive model with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Both model storage can be supplemented with a microSD card up to 400GB, however, with this being a dual SIM model, you will need to sacrifice one of these slots if you use the SD card. The Snapdragon 636 is supported by an Adreno 509 GPU which puts the Nokia 7.1 firmly in mid-range territory, and whilst this may struggle with graphically intensive titles such as Fortnite and PUBG on higher settings, it still manages a decent performance on lower settings, and with other games it does a great job, only dropping frames on some more high-end titles. Given the modest specs and low price though, the Nokia 7.1 doesn't show itself up, and in my usage I didn't find any major issues which I felt were a cause for concern. Onto connectivity, and the Nokia 7.1 comes equipped with Bluetooth 5, which is a nice addition on a mid-range device. It also comes with a USB-C 2.0 port with on-the-go support, an oddly placed headphone jack, NFC and GPS support, and dual-band Wi-Fi and LTE connectivity. In my daily use I found the phone to be really reliable, with a good signal lock even in poor areas thanks to its 4G plus compatibility, which allows for a stronger lock on mobile cell towers at all times. Dual-band Wi-Fi was fine, and for my everyday tasks such as uploading photos from my camera tests or watching YouTube videos, I had no complaints whatsoever with how the Nokia 7.1 went about its business. Rounding things off, the 3.5mm headphone jack offers great audio quality but is only just let down by average volume output. The USB-C port allows fast charging, and thankfully Nokia supplies a rapid charger in the box which can power the phone to 100% from empty in just over an hour. And speaking of battery, the non-removable 3060mAh battery easily allowed me a whole day's use from the Nokia 7.1 thanks to the power efficient Snapdragon 636 and well-tuned software. So moving on to imaging, and the Nokia 7.1 comes equipped with a dual camera setup, comprising of a main 12 megapixel sensor with autofocus and HDR, and this is supplemented by a 5 megapixel sensor which is used for depth effects. Both use zeiss optics and are controlled by Nokia's proprietary camera app, which allows full control over the sensors. I did find there were a few too many options which made the app feel a little cluttered, but once used to this it was easy to find my way around. Performance from the camera was excellent, with good contrast and dynamic range, rich punchy colours and good detail. Like most phones with smaller sensors, the phone does suffer in low light, but careful framing and good use of available light does allow you to get some reasonable results in darker environments. Video up to 4K at 30 frames per second is supported, and this is decent if nothing spectacular, offering smooth video in 1080p thanks to the built-in electronic image stabilisation and great audio recording from the Nokia Ozo audio feature. The front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel fixed focus unit, and this is decent for selfies and portrait shots and has 1080p video recording, again with electronic image stabilisation. If you want to find out more about the camera, then you can check out my video test with the Nokia 7.1, which goes into more depth. So to conclude, the Nokia 7.1 is a superb value, great looking Android device with excellent Android One software and a camera which is one of the best I've seen in this class. It's comfortable to use, and the bloat-free software experience adds a real air of polish to the overall package. Obviously at this price the Nokia 7.1 doesn't have desirable features such as wireless charging, a Quad HD display or fancy Face ID technology, but aside from the minor shortcomings mentioned in this review, the Nokia 7.1 comes highly recommended in the sub £400 price bracket and is one of my favourite devices of this year. If you've got any questions, then please leave these down in the comments section, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing so you don't miss more great content coming soon. But for now, this has been my mini review of the Nokia 7.1. My name is Mr. West, and I will catch you guys later.